The activity in front of the Brooklyn Museum, not too far from our setting today here at the Barclays Center. Hi, everyone. Time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. And we've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for DeAndre Jordan.
We've seen him regress as a rebounder these past few seasons. His numbers have come down in that department, and I'd like to see him concentrate on bringing them back up. I'm sure the team would as well. You can never have enough rebounding.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Hey, Kevin, thank you very much. What a great comeback story for Derrick Rose. His resilience over the years of injuries has been rewarded. He says everybody struggles. People pretend like they don't. My down days were on TV, so I couldn't hide. The whirlwind I was in, I always stayed calm. I think that's just part of who I am. It's my character. Kevin?
Good insight there, Dave. Thank you. Greg, in terms of personnel, not exactly the matchups we were expecting to see tonight.
You know, Kev, with all the injuries and some guys now having to step into unfamiliar roles, in some ways that makes tonight all the more intriguing to see which guys are going to step up and deliver.
So the New York starting five, filling out the wings are Bullock and Barrett. Randall out there with Noel, and it's Payton in at the one. And for the Nets, we've got Harden. Green is out there with Joe Harris. Then there's Irving. And it's Jordan in at the center, locking down the middle. Now here's Harden. Lets it go with a three. Randall grabs the board. Here's Payton. He can't get it to go. And Brooklyn will come the other way. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
And in terms of intensity, they kind of took the night off. It looked like they were just going through the motions.
Yeah, you know, to me, I agree. They just never looked engaged, which is surprising considering how close the game ended up being.
And have to admire how hard Barrett goes. This kind of assertiveness is what makes defenders feel uneasy.
It's his first trip to the line.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
And you know, that's the kind of percentage any player wants to see next to his name at the end of the season.
And that one falls for Barrett.
Born in Toronto, Barrett joins a talented group of Canadians who have entered the NBA ranks.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. The Nets have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Harris outside. About 1 minute into the first quarter. Inside. And Harden with the basket on the assist from Green.
I don't know too many guys who have the skill and attacking mentality that Harden does. I mean, he's only got one thing on his mind, and that's scoring the basketball.
Now here's Payton. 11 points for him in that last game against Detroit.
And it was not a one-man show. That was the best part. He had just as good a game with his passing as he did with his scoring.
The Nets have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And so just over a minute and a half played. On its way from Irving for 2. Misses off the right iron.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open. Well, you can be the judge of if it's fair or not, but Kyrie Irving has earned himself the reputation of being moody, to say the least.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes that sword cuts both ways. Sometimes it's the player, sometimes it's the media, and the media's perception is the combination of the two. And clearly, Kyrie can sometimes go off on tangents, and come from left field in interviews. I mean, he's not the only player, present or past, that's been guilty of that. One thing you can't deny, though, is this guy loves the game. And it's a matter of continuing to mature and grow as a leader. So I say give him more time, and he'll refine himself in that area.
And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. For the New York Knicks, they won their last contest against the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, their long-range artillery hit the mark more often than not. A great equalizer when you're on the road.
They found their rhythm and kept piling it on. And a huge boost of confidence on the road for sure.
And, you know, it took them a while to get going, but they finally connected now on their 4th shot of the game.
Jordan, great positioning on the putback.
Well, I like how Jordan embraces his role on this team. I mean, it's all about rebounding and putbacks for him at the offensive end.
Passes it to Bullock. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
How about battling through the impact there and then reeling that basketball in?
Boy, it does your heart good to see that kind of determination in a player. Really excellent focus that time.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Nicholas Claxton comes in for Green. And it's Bruce Brown in for Joe Harris. And then for New York, Toppin, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Payton. And that drops, so they now lead by 1. And here at the midway point of the year, lots of guys banged up, Clark. Is it hard to decide when to play through and then maybe not to play, when to sit?
Yeah, you know, that's a good question, Kevin. And a lot of times it's about pain tolerance, the severity of the injury. Is it something that you can play with that won't linger on and you don't have the possibility of further injury? Those are the factors that go into playing hurt or playing in pain.
Here's Rose, following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Back to Barrett. A 3-ball. Here's Randall. New York, no good that time either. The Nets have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Irving drives in. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time.
Always a threat on the drive. Irving has an explosive first step.
Pass to Bullock. Toppin with it from deep. It's good from long range.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Pass to Harden from deep. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Nets. That one was played in Brooklyn.
Yeah, they dropped the last game of this matchup. Their bench wasn't able to keep up with the opposing reserves offensively.
Sometimes the bench players are a little overlooked and undervalued, but make no mistake, they play a vital role in deciding games.
Here's Irving, following the score by Derrick Rose. It's Harden with the drive, and there it is for him. Harden's got 6.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first.
Adjustments are a part of the game, and their coach sees something he doesn't like here.
And you know what? We'll see what changes he makes coming out of this timeout.
And the Nets making a change here. Griffin's checked in. The Knicks making a switch here. Quickly, covered by Irving. Toppin kicks to Rose. Good D by Harden.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Irving. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. He's got 6.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
41 seconds left in the first quarter. Hurts' shot is good.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Yeah, these teams trading punches right now. I mean, it's table tennis. Back and forth we go.
Now here's Irving. A 24-point outing in their last game against Chicago. It's Harden with the drive. Drops in the layup for 2.
How know about the concentration. I mean, Harden is used to finishing past intense defense. There he goes, doing it again.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Rose looking around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From past the arc. That one doesn't go. James Harden getting it done for the Brooklyn Nets. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And we'll be back with you shortly. Recently, we had a chance to speak with R.J. Barrett about what was a trying first year.
I hate losing, but at the end of the day, it's part of the game. And I feel like you could learn more from a loss than you can from a win. And my teammates have been great, the whole organization.
And Barrett, a guy who's accustomed to winning, at least as an amateur grade.
I mean, he won a championship in high school, could have won one in his only year of college. He's going to be a driving force for the organization to get better.
And close game so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen so far from the Nets, what do you guys think?
Well, they use the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
And, you know, for them guys, it's all about tempo. Keep the pressure on and do so as much as possible.
You've got Harris. Harden out there with Brown. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Griffin in at the power forward position. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. Now, here's Brown. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And, Clark, when you look at the footwork of James Harden, arguably some of the best in the history of this league.
And, you know, Greg, he studied the greats. I mean, he loved Ginobili's Euro step and then added it to his own game. Now he's taking that to another level, and he's the one giving out the lesson. But you're right. Got great strength, but the footwork is really outstanding.
And the first one at the line is good.
And the league's preeminent practitioner of the step-back 3, James Harden, is as good as it gets. And, you know, like the skyhook, an unguardable shot. And paired with his dribble drive, a 2-move torture chamber.
The Nets making a switch here. Green's checked in. Harden hits them both. And thanks to that step back, Harden already the all-time leader in unassisted three-point shots.
And not to mention 4-point plays. And up until recently, teams built elaborate offenses to create their three-point looks. Harden the first to do it one-on-one with volume and efficiency.
Now Griffin following Alec Burks's three-point attempt. Harden, no good. New York trailing. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, we all know that there are some people who dislike James Harden's style of play. They're bored watching him shoot free throws. He said, "I see how teams guard me and find ways to exploit it. I just outthink the game, and I'm faulted for it." Kevin, that may be, but it's hard to argue with the results. Back to you.
You're right, one of the top scorers in league history, David. Thanks for that report. And Brooklyn has possession. The Knicks making the shot. For 3, Harris sinks the three-pointer. Harris has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
You know, knocking down the 3 guys, that's one of the premier three-point gunners in the NBA, Joe Harris.
Back to Payton. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. You know, winning that championship as you did, Greg, for UNLV, many people don't remember you played much of that season with a broken jaw.
Well, Kevin, I don't remember much of it, to be honest with you. It was pretty hazy. I lost 19 pounds over the course of the season.
Oh,
I was
goodness.
championship night. I was 168 pounds.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, I was wired shut for 8 weeks. Didn't miss a game, but I'll tell you what, I don't know if I would do that today. but, you know, it did turn out well with the championship.
As I recall, you broke it against Fresno State, correct?
Yes, yeah, got my legs taken out from under me and broke the fall with my face.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, ouch. And Alfred Payton with the foul. That's his first foul. Nicholas Claxton's checked in for Brooklyn. Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for the Knicks. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Harden the pass to Brown. Harris kicks to Jordan. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Harden on the jam by Harden.
Man, it's fun watching Harden use the pick and roll to his advantage, getting space off the screen and letting it fly with ease.
Payton with the ball. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. Here's Brown, and finished off by Brown.
Hey, we know Harden can score, but he also has great vision.
And here's Payton. He'll bring it up for the New York Knicks. Trailing by 4. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break from deep. Harden. Offensive rebound. Brown dishes to Harden. Back to Brown. Up again. And there's Jordan putting it right back in. Jordan's got the lead up to 6 now for Brooklyn.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
And those second chance points can add up.
And if you're the defensive team, it just kills you to give up baskets like that.
Here's Brown. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Nets?
They've made the commitment to get out and run, and it's paid off with some highlight reel plays in transition.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
That free throw good from Brown. Knicks trail by 9. Now Rose. He's got 6. Shot to stop the run, and the basket for the 4th time from the field. He's a healthy 4 for 6.
You didn't think Rose would back down from some contact now, did you guys? Playing with a high level of intensity.
And as he gets older, we see Derrick Rose coming out of his shell a bit more. Early in his career, he was wary of strangers and the media.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Bullock passes to Rose. Got a piece of it. Now here's Bullock. He's covered by Irving. New York now working with the new shot clock. And Jordan sends it back.
Hey, get that weak stuff out of here. Take it home. Jordan is fantastic at rejecting those kinds of shots.
And now another look at that mobile one-block defensive performance.
And they're determined to add to the lead, not with more offense, but with big time.
Marcus Aldridge is checked in for DeAndre Jordan. There's a minute left in the first half. Irving finds Harden. Launches a 3. He doesn't hit that one. And New York will come the other way. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket. He has gotten into a great rhythm here in this quarter, playing with just abundance of confidence.
The Knicks have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3. And the Nets making a change here. Griffin's checked in. And New York with a change here, too. KNICKS is checked in.
You know what? We've recently been able to watch a different Rose here. I mean, a better, more efficient, more confident player. Man, I love seeing that.
To the left wing. The kick out to Irving. To the middle, Claxton. Shot clock at 5. Shot from free throw range. A nice shot by Irving. Irving's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Irving has the touch needed to do damage from just about anywhere, including from there.
Outside Rose. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Rose has got 13.
Guys, how about the ball handling by Rose? Showing you a little bit of the back to the future Rose with those moves.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Nets lead by 6. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Hey, Kevin, thanks. Hey, James, we know that scoring seems to come easy for you. How do you create that mentality out there?
I just like to have fun. You know, it's all for the kids. It's all for the fans. You know, I think that's what we're here for. And so, you know, guys, just go out there and compete, have fun, and just play hard.
My family doesn't think it's all for the kids, but I appreciate your sentiment. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court for the Knicks, Barrett and Randall are in the forward positions. Reggie Bullock is out there with Elfrid Payton, and it's Noel in at the 5 down low. Greg, in New York, you obviously played in a number of championship contending teams. What do the Knicks have to do to get back to that feel, that kind of team?
Well, listen, it starts with stability across the board, but mainly that means at the top. And you got to give this new front office, this new regime, an opportunity. I think they got some good young pieces, but title contenders are not in a constant state of flux right now. They've got to take their baby steps here and start moving in the right direction.
Like you say, it does begin in the front office. Now, here is Harden. Lobs it up for Jordan. And slam dunk by Jordan.
Yeah, you got to respect the athletic reach of Jordan now. Throw it up, and he will bash in the alley-oop.
Here's Payton. Trying to get open is Randall. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on James Harden. These are his third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
And so far this season, it's been average at best at the line. Only 71% as a shooter.
And I'll tell you guys, I mean, to see the improvement he's made in his free throw shooting in the space of just one season, I think it's been remarkable.
And so he hits both.
You know, one of the things that jumps out at you immediately when you look at Payton is his size. I mean, he's a 6'4" point guard who knows how to use his body and skill set to his advantage.
Now here's Jordan. He has 6. Here's Harden. Looks good, is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
Yeah, if that's a harbinger of things to come, he's looking at having a very big second half.
Here's Bullock. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
Free throw good. Bullock. And so Bullock nails both of them.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Irving up top. He's guarded by Bullock. That one goes. Counting. Irving's got 12 points in the game.
All Irving needs is just a little room to convert, and he's good to go.
Here's Barrett. Basket counts. Brooklyn leading by 4. The pass to Green. On the wing, Irving. He's guarded by Bullock. Back to Green. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Green's got his first points of the game.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
Now, here's Bullock. He has 5. Kyrie Irving grabs the miss. And so it's Irving who brings it up for the Brooklyn Nets. Shot from 16. Again, the Nets for 2.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half. They are rolling.
Payton outside. Now, here's Bullock. He's covered closely. That shot off. Great D that time from Green. Wants to get it to Irving and does. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Barrett kicks to Payton. Barrett dishes to Payton. Over Irving. And again, it's the Knicks missing. Nets leading by 8 to the inside. Here's Harden. And that one drops.
Well, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
The Nets shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here.
And how about as a group, 80% on the season, one of their best attributes.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Griffin comes in for Jordan. And Nicholas Claxton subbed in for Jeff Green. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. The NBA continues to build international academies to develop prospects from other countries. Already, academy graduates are playing Division I college basketball. And before long, NBA players should start emerging from that pipeline. The league continues to reach out to find overlooked youngsters who have a gift and give them the opportunity. Guys?
Outstanding, David. Thank you.
I like the play call. Very solid, making perfect use of the pick to get a great look.
And here is Harris. His scoring has been there on a regular basis. He's averaging more than 14 points a game. Some teams live and die by the 3. Let's check out the best. In third, the Nets.
No doubt they have snipers on that roster, that's for sure. It's been a terrific year for them from beyond the arc.
Knicks trail by 9. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Bounce pass from Rose. And slam dunk by Noel.
Rose, a very solid floor general. I think that's an underrated part of his game. He's excellent at finding his teammates.
1:33 left here in the third quarter. Harris outside. Hits the three-point bomb. Harris has got 6.
Maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that he can afford to give him.
New York calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Nicholas Claxton. And it's Brown in for James Harden.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Aldridge finds Irving, and the Nets another three.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Knicks trail by 13. Rose passes to Knox. Back to Rose. 43 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Harris against Burks. Over Harris. And the shot is long. Nets leading by 13. Here's Irving. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
For Brooklyn, they have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. Free throw, good, Irving.
Hard to keep up with Irving. I mean, this guy knows how to get to the line. He's a multi-dimensional scorer, always attacking.
Here's Rose. Slides through for his 7th basket in 11 tries.
Boy, he's doing everything he can at this point. The rest of his teammates need to step up and give him some help.
Passes to Aldridge. Brown wide open. He fires. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. Brown's got 8 points.
Aldridge keeps his head up and his options open. He's a team-oriented guy with a good basketball IQ. Excellent pass.
Here's Rose. And the quarter ends with some stifling defense right there. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And how about a look now at our assist to the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Yeah, platinum level dime dropping there, fellas. Accurate and on time.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Aldridge out there with Griffin. Then there's Harris. Then it's Harden. And it's Irving in at the 2-guard spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Greg, you showed toughness and grit when you played. You've got to succeed in this league with those things at the forefront, right? Being tough, being gritty. And there are several players whose style you admire and play like that.
I mean, no doubt about it. You have the superstars, the Kawhis and LeBrons, who continue to do it. They can intimidate you physically, but they also provide tremendous skill set. But 2 other guys, Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, they're also guys that exemplify that toughness. 2 guys, when you look at those 2, a lot of people didn't project them to be what they've become, and it's impressive to watch them take the floor night in and night out.
And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more. Jordan, he's checked in for the Nets. Green comes in for Blake Griffin. And New York making a change here. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Brooklyn.
For mid-range, it's been a very nice game for them. I mean, they've been finding the bottom of the net a lot.
Yeah, but don't forget about their points in the paint, because those have been big.
No good from Jordan.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Randall, no good.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way. How about that strong defensive performance for this half's mobile 1 block?
And guys, that's about as good a defensive play as you'll see. Instant reaction to get a hand to the shot.
Noel checked in for New York. Reggie Bullock comes in for Derrick Rose. Knicks trail by 14. Payton looking it over. And Noel kicks to Barrett. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
The first one falls. And so he makes both from the line. And it's been said that history is written by the victor. Certainly holds true in sports, don't you think, Greg? And with that in mind, do you think titles are overvalued when evaluating the great players, individual players in history?
You know, Kevin, I think so. Having said that, I think championships do matter, obviously, and in the NBA, in basketball in general, one guy can have more impact, right? Because you only play 5 and you play both ways. So it does have something to say, but I don't think that completes the narrative. You know, there's some tremendously talented guys, Karl Malone, Elgin Baylor, Patrick Ewing, Allen Iverson, a lot of greats who never won it. It's easy to count those rings, but measuring greatness has to take in the whole picture.
Hall of Famers, all of them. Now, here's Bullock. Harden missing his last shot. Pulls up on the elbow, and it's Bullock missing.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
And Joe Harris, the lethal shooter, he can also be a threat in the pick-and-roll game.
Yeah, Harris does a great job reading what a defense is giving. He's more than just a catch-and-shoot type of player. Harris can hit shots on the move and isn't afraid to go at defenders.
Well, Harris has become such a solid role player, guys, a knockdown shooter who really elevates the team above self.
Bullock dishes to Noel. Great D that time from Jordan. And so it's Harden bringing it up for the Nets. Green kicks to Harden. It's deflected. Stolen by Bullock. Pass to Payton. And it's Randall, top of the key. He gets it in there. Randall's got his first bucket in this one.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Timeout called, the Nets.
And a physical presence is former Kentucky Wildcat Julius Randle. But he's got some mobility to go along with it, able to move and attack in transition.
And now, let's present our New Balance Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good positions. And boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
And this is exactly what a star player is supposed to do. Coming off a loss, he made sure they weren't going to make it 2 in a row. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
During that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brooklyn's head coach said to the team. He talked about the mindset they need to have and what he wants to see the rest of the way. Engagement at both ends and making good decisions with the ball. Guys?
You know, people have talked about Julius Randle's game. He's a power driver, isn't he, Greg? I mean, the guy just bulldozes all the way in.
I like that phrase, Kev. You know, very fluid for his size. A pretty good ball handler and passer. I think his shooting is where he's still filling in the gaps.
And stolen by Kyrie Irving. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Harden. There's the triple. Let's keep it alive. And Jordan gets it to go. And the Nets lead by 17.
Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
And, you know, until that final buzzer sounds, I mean, you've got to treat every possession like it's crucial.
New York calls timeout. They're trailing by 17. 1:36 left in the fourth quarter. Rose is checked in for Peyton. Rose passes to Randall. Back to Rose. Well, we know the TV networks have brought more revenue, Greg, to the NBA. The expectation is for another bump when they renegotiate in 2023.
You know, at the same time, though, Kevin, with all the cord cutters out there, the league looking to make the game more accessible to those fans. I expect that to be a big part of this next deal.
Right, on your tablet, smartphone, or your computer.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for Brooklyn.
If they had to battle for this win, there were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
And that's a product of their mental toughness. Anytime the flow of the game turned against them, instead of caving, they just dialed it up a notch and were able to pull away.
And so now, on the year, they'll have 35 wins to their credit.
They were really smart in the use of that game plan tonight. Used it in their first 2 games against this team, which equaled to 2 wins.
If it ain't broke, why fix it? I mean, why change anything? Knowing how well they played in those 2 games, they probably couldn't wait for this one to wrap up the streak of the season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Kyrie Irving.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Irving with the steal. So it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Hey, thank you, Kevin. Kyrie, very few can match your offensive creativity. So how do you integrate that into the team system?
It starts in our practice. It starts with our practice habits, getting our swing action, and practicing with a purpose. You know, whether it's shoot-arounds or walkthroughs, we're starting to show progress right there and just getting back to what we know, and that's executing on both ends of the floor and trusting one another.
Well, the ball was certainly moving tonight, man. Congrats on the win. Kevin?